The pick is in. The Bengals have turned in their selection. Let us go to the commissioner.
Okay, here we go. With the first pick in the 2020 draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Joe Burrow, quarterback, LSU.
And there you see Joe with mom and dad, and you have to wonder what's going through his mind right now. Remember, when he entered the transfer portal, he said one more time he wanted to go to Nebraska, and Scott Frost, the coach, said, is he better than what we got? The answer is yes. Mel Kiper, what do you like most about Joe Burrow's game?
I'll tell you what, the improvement was so dramatic, and you were a little cautious early on, Trey, because this is a sixth-round pick going into the year, and all of a sudden, you see this guy putting up big numbers. He looks like he's got it. He's going to incorporate every receiver into the mix. They got everything going. And you start moving him up to the third round, second round. I drew comparisons to Tony Romo. Then it became Tom Brady. Then you get late in the season after you won the Heisman Trophy, you say, boy, now the pressure's on. This is championship or bust for LSU, and he didn't blink. He got behind, they'll struggle in the Clemson game early, and then all of a sudden, lights out. Again, Joe Burrow's poise, his confidence, the way he manipulates the pocket, he just has that it factor. He has tremendous awareness. He slips, he dips, stays away from trouble, and then makes those accurate strikes down the field. Joe Burrow put together the best season I can ever remember a college quarterback having. As I said, you talk about the elite competition he faced, 7 opponents that were combined 77-18. That's 77-11 if you take those losses to LSU out of it. So this is a guy that every step of the way played above and beyond what anybody could have expected based on what we saw 2 years ago. I think his improvement was not only dramatic, it was historic, and I don't think we'll ever see it again, Trey. Look, I've never seen a guy
most people talk about this, Mel, as far as him being a one-year wonder. But if you go back to 2018, you started to see this coming on. He was more and more comfortable. And then in 2019, when Joe Brady comes down there and he opens up the door and he says, you know what, Joe, I'm going to put 5 out wide and I'm going to allow you to see the field. And Joe Burrow grew up right before our own very eyes. And I think the Cincinnati Bengals are getting a player that if they will take some of the same concepts that Joe Brady brought down to LSU, if they will have some of those same concepts in Cincinnati, you will see the same thing from Joe Burrow, a quarterback that can lead your football team from a talent standpoint, and he will make sure that you guys go where you want to go, which is to the promised land.
Hey, Boog, a lot of people have asked me, why did he make that big transition from 18 to 19? It wasn't just the system. He got there late before that 18 season, didn't get a chance to get comfortable, and he had a little rust. He hadn't played a lot of football in 3 years, but what we saw this year was outstanding. How about the field vision, the awareness? You read the safety vacate, go towards the middle of the field. You've got a vertical with Justin Jefferson from the slot. You take that all day long. He identifies, he attacks, and he drops this ball beautifully in the bucket. How about working in the middle of the field? Anticipation and ball placement doesn't get better than that. And then the toughness. We've all talked about that toughness with Joe Burrow. His eyes don't drop under pressure. Hang in there. You take the big hit and deliver a strike right on the money. Again, working in the middle of the field. How about the pocket awareness? Climb, feel it, keep your eyes downfield, find that backside seam, and again, beautiful ball placement. If you want to nitpick him, he played with an all-star cast of receivers, so every now and then he got away with a throw like this one that he might not necessarily get away with at the next level. But Lewis, outside of just pure top-shelf arm strength, I love everything about Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I mean, he really is technically proficient in many, many different things when you're talking about playing the quarterback position. First and foremost, when you want to look at him compared to some guys who are playing in the league right now as far as traits, we already talked about the pocket mechanics. Look at him move up in the pocket here, keep his eyes down the field, 2 hands on the football to make sure it's secure, and then hit Justin Jefferson coming across the middle of the field. Tom Brady, again, has made a living doing this his entire career. He doesn't have to be a great athlete, but he's so just smooth in the pocket. And now, outside the pocket, he's a guy who can escape the rush again, push up in the pocket now to the right, get outside the tackle box, and just throw a dart down the right sideline there and just put it on the money. Jared Goff under Sean McVay, someone who was featured outside the pocket. Look at this throw right here to Brandon Cooks in the back of the end zone at the back pylon. Doesn't get any better than that. And then his recognition and athleticism to be able to recognize, hey, all the defenders' backs are to me on the second level. They're running down the field man to man. I'm going to take off. I'm going to burn you with my athleticism. Ryan Tannehill does the same same thing. He carried the Tennessee Titans in this manner all year long in 2019. When he sees the defenders turn their back, he's going to take off and run with the football. This is what makes Joe Burrow the total package. This is why you go number one overall.
Yeah, listen, it's hard to go against anything that we saw from Joe Burrow this past season. So he is truly the Tiger King. So let us go for more on that. He goes from a Bayou Bengal to a Cincinnati Bengal. Our Susie Culver standing by with Joe Burrow.
Well, we all knew this was coming. Doesn't make it any less powerful. Joe, you were in Nashville last year for the draft. If I had said to you then, you're going to be number one overall in 2020, what would you have said?
I would have told you were crazy. I knew I was going to have a really good season because I knew, we had really good players coming back. I had great coaches, and we were going to work really, really hard to do it. But to jump up to number one overall is crazy to me. But it's a dream come true.
Mel Kiper shared earlier that going into last season, he had a 6th-round grade on you, but then you won the Heisman, a national title. You're number one overall. How do you process that?
Well, I wasn't very good my junior year. It's pretty simple. I worked really hard to get better. All my guys worked really, really hard to get better. We just gelled as a team this year to do exactly what we did. I just wasn't as good as I was my senior year. But I worked really, really hard to improve.
Tell us what the area code represents on your shirt.
740. This is, Athens County area. I wanted to get something to, represent my home area, my hometown, and Nike made this for me. It's been great. I just want to show as much appreciation to this area as I can.
Joe, congratulations. Number one overall.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.